Just a few days ago, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, announced the display of voter register nationwide. Now, the week-long exercise, which commenced on the 6th of November, is expected to avail the electorate the opportunity to resolve pending challenges and also help the Commission to update its record with the aim of cleaning up and clearing ineligible voters from its register ahead of the 2019 general elections. Now, the display is expected to take place at polling units nationwide, while hearing of claims and objections will be done at ward centers daily. This exercise is no doubt a major hurdle for the electoral body to cross, especially with the attending challenges. That is why it's a hot topic for discussion on Nigeria Today. Expectedly, I'm not alone. We will unveil our guests in just a moment. Welcome to the program. I am Joy OSIAGWU. Now with me in the studio to address the issue on the front burner is Comrade Okpokwu Ogenye, who is the National Coordinator, Initiative for Minority Rights Advocacy. Comrade, it's good to have you join us in the studio.
Good evening once again.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
I know that you're always out there advocating for the downtrodden.
Yes.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the voter register and the exercise, you know, the attempt to clean it up. And I know that you're a field person.
Yes.
So tell us, what has been your experience since INEC started the display of the voter register? Have you been there to see for yourself what's going on?
We've traveled to Initiative for Minority Right Advancement or Advocacy. We have traveled to 3 states in the country, and we have other field workers that also feed us back at the headquarters here. There is minimal complaint about omission of names from the voters register. What people are even more interested is the collection of the permanent voters card. That if you go, in about 2-3 states, nobody will complain. People are not even interested in checking or verifying their statute or voting statute. So they are rather interested in collecting their permanent voters card.
But if they don't verify, how do they collect this voters card? Because there are some people who have double registration. Yes, and that is the essence of having this exercise.
Yes. Like what I'm saying is a report from the field that when you go to various polling units, you will hardly see somebody that come to check his or her name, either it appear on the register or not. The major persons you will see are political office holders who are scared that based on 1 or 2 things their name may not be there. And you know, submitting your INEC form, you need voters card. And the implication is that you also need to vote for yourself. So the politicians have not been able to mobilize their people to look into the issue of voter statute. So many of them, as we speak, are not interested. And we had also sensitized people in these 3 states that we visited.
So how many states? 3
Plateau, Benue, and Kogi State.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, since
within the North Central.
Okay, it's good that we have you back from the field.
Yes.
Tell us, in terms of sensitization and advocacy, are people really, do you think they've done enough? If we're looking at INEC and civil society like yours, have we done enough in terms of letting people know that these registers are open, people should go and check?
Yes, like INEC has not been able to sensitize Nigerians enough.
Really?
Yes. Apart from like NTA Radio Nigeria, that you have the advert ongoing almost at every given minute. So the traditional media or the traditional method of communication,
which
was not like the tank criers.
Oh, do we still have that?
Yes, we still have tank criers in the villages that they will bring their bell and announce pass information. So then the meetings, the community meetings, district heads, so the palace of these chiefs are supposed to be part of this advocacy to say, go and verify your statute. It is through the statute verification that you may even go to claim your PVC. That is not there. So they just limited it to the conventional media. And most of these persons in the villages do not have access to this media. So we still have communities in Nigeria that still have no access to light.
I agree. So yes. so let's talk about you, civil society. That's where you come in. Yes. You're like the watchdog of the society too. Yes. So what have you done to add value to what INEC is doing? Yeah,
currently we just set up a committee and we are trying to collaborate with other civil society organizations to move into the field. Tomorrow there's going to be a massive sensitization. We are doing it through WhatsApp messages, text messages, and mass SMS to people. We are also trying to reach 1 or 2 persons of interest in the 36 states and also ensure that such is duplicated in the 774 local government, and they go ahead to the council ward and polling unit to tell the people that spare just like 20 minutes and verify your statute. If your name is not there, you complain. If your name is not properly written, you complain. If not, you may come for your PVC and you may not have it. You know, the general notion is that INEC told Nigerians that those who participated in the exercise between January and March, their PVCs are ready. But between March to the closure of this civic exercise, theirs will be ready by this November. So those who participated between March, after March till now, they are even reluctant in going to the polling unit to verify their statute, believing that they will go by this November and get their permanent voters card. And another aspect is this exercise is going to end up by a Sunday. By the time the verification exercise elapsed by Sunday, and they go, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, or by next week to get their PVC, and their names are not there, they will rather be disqualified or be disenfranchised. No. But now, our advocacy is hinged on the fact that as a Nigerian, you have the right to vote and be voted for. You have the right to know your statute. Even outside the INEC stipulated guideline, we are also advocating that you can also move into any INEC office at any given time to verify your statute. You can go without even INEC calling on you to come and verify. So you go there and check. These are the open policy we're advocating even with INEC. That's
a whole lot to take in, Comrade Okpokuna. Yes. You say you talked about SMS, WhatsApp, and I'm saying to myself, isn't that also close to what you accused INEC of, that they're not going to the grassroots to use the local means of communication? You're not exploring that, are you?
No, good. I made it very clear. This SMS, WhatsApp, is going to those who have access to electronics or this handset and the rest. Then those people were having coordinators in the 774 local government. Those persons have been mandated as we speak to also have coordinators in their various council ward, down to polling unit. The essence is that when we move into a community, like we can be here now, through this WhatsApp group that we're also moving, sending messages, when they send the message to the chief, a man will accompany the message. And Your Majesty, this is what and what is it obtains. So the town crier will come and cry in the night and announce to the community. We are also going into these community meetings. This, they say, youth association, market women association, we are going into them to announce to the people, because we discovered that there is no time.
I was just going to say, when do you intend to do all that? Because Sunday is just here.
The work has started. I told you that as we speak, that messages are going on and people have already been appointed across the states. As we speak tonight, in some states, the town criers will be on. Then tomorrow, which is Saturday, the town criers will be on. At least Sunday, that is the end of the time, there may be a massive rush for verification.
Now, talking about time, do you think 1 week is enough for verification?
It's not even enough. Some of the crises we have is this orthodox way of doing things. So we need to be more innovative, proactive, and even imbibe the electronic process. It doesn't take much time to verify your statute. Like now, you have not been able to give people their PVCs. So you should also be able to give time within the time that you are producing the PVCs for these persons. Then people can still be verifying. Then even after the proper verification at the polling unit, now you have brought the exercise closer to the people by bringing it to their polling unit. So those who do not even have access to the polling unit to do this verification should also have access to the registration centers on their own to come and do the verification. Now, if you are closing this for the feed, now open it in the office so that when they come for PVC...
When you say office, what do you mean? INEC office?
INEC registration center, that is their office. Their registration centers everywhere is their offices. So it should be made available.
The way you started, I thought you meant that they should also have a way for people who can't make it to the centers to verify online. I thought that was what
Yes, no, the online is there. INEC, we must give INEC kudos for that. Like, you can sit here and verify your statute, even with your permanent voter's card or your temporary voter's card. You verify it if you are an eligible voter. So this particular campaign is for, we're talking about the rural people that do not have access to internet-enabled phone, and people who do not have that particular information. And that is where we come in as civil society. The part of the messages that is going on, my phone is not here, I would have shown you some of them, is to tell them that you can verify through this INEC.org. We even went as far as coined only the voters verification unit. So you can just enter your first name, your registration number, and it's done. Your date of birth and your surname, it will display if you're an eligible voter or not. That is already there. So now we're talking about the traditional persons in the villages.
Yes.
Those are the target. And you know, the massive vote comes from those villages.
I know.
So the city, people in the city hardly vote. Except now that President Buhari has opened the eyes of every Nigerian, they say that their vote now count. That is why you see city people rushing to participate in the voters' process.
All right, let me take you back to those states where the 3 states where you went to. For those who came out to check, what did you get from them in terms of their reaction? Did they have challenges? There
is practically no challenges. There was just one person whose name was omitted. From he complained that he registered, he had a temporary voter's card, that was in Kogi State. He had a temporary voter's card, but his name is not on the list. And that may be as a result of double registration that INEC is complaining about. I will also use it as a case study to also warn others that next time, follow instruction. Register once, because on that day of the election, you are going to vote once. You may register here in Abuja and register another in your village. On that day of election, you may be in your village or you may be in Abuja. And if you register even in your village and they allow the 2 voters card, when you come to vote, they will mark your finger. And the community people also know the person you are coming to vote for. You know, in the villages, it's very open. If you are a member of this party or the other party, they know. So when you come back to vote for the second time, they will still apprehend you. So why putting yourself at risk by double registration? And the worst of all is that you have been disenfranchised from the entire process. So the person you so love to govern you, to lead you in any position, you do not have the right now to vote for the person. So whose fault?
All right, comrade, that's quite interesting. I want us to go on a short break now. The program is Nigeria Today, and our focus is on the display of voter register. Now let's find out from those outside the studio what exactly has happened in terms of going out to check their status.
I went to where I registered to the Durumi one, Chief Palace. Just now I'm coming back from there now. So I look around there, I don't see any where they paste the pictures or name. I did not find it. So, but I'm trying to go back tomorrow to check at the LA primary school whether I will find it.
Yes, I've collected my PVC once in 2015, and I'm still having the card intact with me. So if they are checking the old names or the ones that they have been using, it means I will go there to check.
Yes, I have. 2 months ago. No, I don't know, but I've not checked.
No, I just have the temporary on. I was not able to relocate. I did not register here.
I collected my PVC. I cross-check my name because I don't know that they are cross-checking names.
Thank you for staying with us on Nigeria today, and I still have my guest in the studio, Comrade Boku Ogenyi.
Thank you very much.
Comrade, you listen to the sound bites from the streets. What's your take?
Yes, you can see it very clear that the job of sensitization is minimal, and that is why I told you that we are swinging into action immediately as civil society organizations. People in the city are not even aware. So like the other young man said, he's not aware that you go to do verification or check your name or something. The other person said he went to Chief Palace where he registered, he did not see the display of name. And maybe he went to the Chief Palace, he did not go to the police center. Every police unit has a police center. He also corrected himself by saying that he will go to the primary school tomorrow, where you normally cast your vote. That's your polling unit, that's your police center. That is the same nation they place these names. If you go, like even people in my village, they are participating. It's well placed everywhere in Nigeria. INEC must be given kudos for that. Yes,
that's interesting. So I also want you to give us a picture of the pulse of the people. Do they sound or look excited about this forthcoming election? I mean, in terms of body language, what did you pick?
Nigerians are more prepared than before. More prepared. They've turned out, the voters turnout that you will see in 2019 will outnumber that of 2015 and 2011.
Why is that?
Yes,
from
that
your
we're talking
perspective?
about real voters.
Yes.
Not the inflated figures that they put in 2015 and the rest.
So from your own perspective,
yes.
Why is that? Why
Yes.
are we getting this
Nigerians
change in narrative?
have come to know. You see, this 10,000 naira market women trader money, the 30,000 naira empower money, another 10,000 naira for age, this medical care for age, then the 5,000 naira for these overage persons, they improve seedlings, then the agricultural loans or grants have already opened the eyes of the people. So Nigerians are aware that if they do not participate in the voters process, that something may happen, that the present administration may be voted out. And once the government is voted out, their own programs will stop. So they are already being mobilized. People call their children, as far as Abuja here, people come from the villages. I say, go and get your PVC. If you can't get it there, come home and get it.
Now, you mean
so that these are programs, these are the grassroots in the city. They call the city. Have you got your PVC? If you don't have space to get it here, come home and get it. We must preserve this administration because they are aware, very clear. There was Shopee in the last administration and there were beneficiaries, even though there were a lot of fraud in it. But when this government came, for Shopee was scrapped and social investment programs were introduced. Those who benefited from Shopee, most of them are not the beneficiaries of this one. But the difference between the Shopee program and this social investment program of this administration is the direct beneficiaries, not the one that a commissioner. A commissioner will sit down and put 10 names. Out of the 10 names, he bring only 2 physical human beings and pocket 8 persons' money into their pocket. This one is directly to the grassroots. Without you knowing anybody in government, you apply, you will be given. So many of them have been enjoying this facility. I have a friend who we graduated from the university 10 years ago. He told me that he does not like Buhari. I said, why don't you like Buhari? He said, but Buhari, he doesn't like him because some people are just talking against him. But him and his brother, they are benefiting from the Empower program. So he says since we graduated 10 years ago, he has never been employed anywhere. except Buhari that is giving him this Empower
so
project.
That has made him
so
to go
that
register?
That one, he has not just registered. He's one of our coordinators. You know, when you have these good testimonies, you appoint them to head the sensitization. He's our coordinator in one part of Benue, and he's doing very well.
All right, let's come back to the main focus, which is the voter register that is displayed across the country now. Now, we're talking about Sunday from the Vox Pop there and from your own testimony from these 3 states. It's obvious that ending this exercise on Sunday might cause a few challenges. What are your suggestions to INEC?
It will cause major challenges. Major challenges. Because the numbers of unacclaimed PVC, I still believe, outnumber the acclaimed PVC so far from the voters registration exercise, the new one that was done. So a large chunk of Nigerians may be disenfranchised if the last segment of the PVC is not being released to the people. The implication is that if these persons who are supposed to verify their statute and currently unaware of the statute verification exercise happen to go for their PVC and their names are not there, they may revote. So therefore, it is an appeal to INEC that before they take such public decision of public interest, they should be able to consult with Nigerians. Come for live program on NTA, tell Nigerians that this is what we're going to do. Nigerians will even phone in program and tell you that 1 week is not enough, 2 weeks is not enough, 3 weeks is not enough. You give your reasons. And at least it should even be a 1 month exercise, 4 weeks, including Saturdays and maybe Sundays.
Now you talk about INEC. How about, since we're all in this together, apart from traditional media organizations like NTA, FRCN, how about collaborating with other relevant agencies like the NOA? National Orientation Agency.
Yes.
I'm not making reference to not just INEC, but you as civil society.
No, what we are doing now, even with INEC, we are doing it with INEC. Like this organization, we are registered with INEC for civic education.
How about you also networking with NOA?
Yes, we are also doing that with NOA. Okay. But the problem with the NOA is it's not as easy as NTA. Today you go, they say the person in charge of this communication is not on seat. Tomorrow you go, I have other things to do. I don't want to go into that. Okay. The truth is, the NOA has not been very effective.
All right.
And even none is even better than what is happening now.
All right, Comrade Okpokwu, it's always good to have you join us in the studio, knowing that you're a field person.
Yes.
And that's it on this edition of Nigeria Today. But before we go, we want to appreciate Comrade Okpokwu Ogenyi, who is the National Coordinator Initiative for Minority Right Advocacy. Thank you very much for joining us.
Can I have my last message for Nigerians?
Okay, what is your last message?
My last message is that we should all encourage our people to participate in the voters verification exercise. And INEC should also look into the plight of Nigerians and give at least 1 more week for the continuous verification exercise. Thank you.
All right, you heard him. Thank you very much for being part of Nigeria Today. Remember, you can watch this episode or any other edition online at youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. My name is Joy OSIAGWU. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening.